Hi everyone, and welcome back to Jim Vernon Solutions and the Learn HTML series using W3 Schools. We're at the HTML elements part of the tutorial, which is a little bit simpler than the previous part of the tutorial. Elements are everything from the start tag to the end tag, including what's between the start and the end tag. That's considered an element. So we've seen some examples before. We've seen the heading element, we've seen the paragraph element, and we haven't really used the BR element, the break, but it's listed here to kind of show the distinction. There are some elements that don't require any content and that therefore don't have an end tag. It's also possible to nest elements, and we can see the first example has some nested elements. In fact, if we just try it ourselves, we'll jump right in here and we can see on the left the HTML, on the right the resulting display in the browser. We start with a doc type declaration, which is an empty tag. It doesn't have a closing tag and doesn't have any content. We see an HTML tag and a close or slash HTML tag down at the bottom, and nested inside of that we have the body, which opens with a body tag and closes with a slash body tag. And then within, so the body tag is, the body element is nested within HTML, and then nested within the body we have a heading, which is the H1 tag up to the close H1 tag and whatever we type in between. And we have the paragraph or the P tag, again with the starting with a P and then ending with a slash P. So those are some examples of how things can be nested and how they frequently are nested. Let's get back out of here and show one other very interesting thing about HTML elements. Actually, before we get to that, let's cover the fact that it is possible to skip end tags, and you often won't find a mistake. So they give an example, right, how things can display correctly. If we jump in here, we can see that the paragraph tags don't have ends, but most browsers will in fact display more or less what's intended, right? We can see the two paragraphs there, and there's an appropriate break between them. But it's really good practice to always use opening and closing tags. So as it says here, never rely on the browser not to make a mistake, right? And there's a little bit about empty elements. I want to point out at the end of this section there is an excellent HTML tag reference. I'm going to go view it, but I won't go through it in detail. You can see it goes outside the tutorial, so I probably won't cover this in other videos, but it has every HTML tag ordered alphabetically. You can also see them by category, which might be a more effective way of reviewing them. But in either case, you can actually see every single HTML tag and a description of what the tags do. So remember though that takes you outside of the tutorial. So we're back here, and we'll close this segment and pick up with, oops, sorry. Now I'm back in the tutorial, and if we're at the end of the elements, the next one will be HTML attributes.